Hello and welcome to another edition of Kaleidoscope on Channels Television. I'm Anne Nwawadu. On the program today, the Lilyford Foundation holds its annual medical outreach in Delta and Anambra states. Plus, a chat with the group CEO and Managing Director of Airtel Africa PLC, Segun Ogunsoya, highlights the contributions of the telecommunications sector to the country's economy. Once again, welcome. The Lilyford Foundation is a non-governmental organization that has been catering for the needy, the physically challenged, and the less privileged in the society for many years. And this year was no different, as the organization put together its usual annual medical outreach despite the current security and economic challenges in the country. The fourth edition of the annual Lilyford Foundation Medical and Welfare Outreach begins in Owulaga Kingdom in Delta State, with attention to the elderly and those in need of urgent care. Traditional rulers of the Delta community are present to witness the outreach. Activities kickstart immediately, with medical practitioners on ground to provide various services to the people of the community. School children are not left out. Provisions including scholarships are made available to aid their education. From Delta State, the team moves to Ogidi in Idemili North Local Government Area and Onitsha in Anambra State, as the outreach this year takes a new dimension, with one-year medical insurance for over 200 persons is introduced. The Ogidi Civic Center is the venue for this year's intervention, as beneficiaries go through the accreditation process before getting medical attention, which includes eye tests, treatment of malaria, control of hypertension and diabetes, diagnosis of ailments, and making appropriate referrals and surgeries in extreme cases. The program begins with prayers. Then the traditional ruler of Ogidi, His Royal Majesty Igwe Alex Onyedo, cuts the tape and declares the program open after pouring encomium on the founder of the Lilyford Foundation, Mrs. Uju Ifejika. The declaration ushers in the commencement of the program as those accredited begin to filing for medical treatment. The medical director of the Lilyford Foundation Medical Outreach announces the introduction of the one-year health insurance for over 200 people from Ogidi and Onitsha as part of the new intervention.
But one thing that's very unique about this particular 5th edition is that not only that we are seeing patients, treating people and giving palliatives, but the chairman, Barrister Mrs. Uju Ifejika, has decided to extend the goodness to health insurance. You know, she has covered like 220 indigents of both Ogidi and Onitsha with the Anambra State Health Insurance Agency. So they are going to have health insurance cover, full health insurance cover for the next 1 year. It's not just to come here, see people, treat them once in a year and go. But just extended that people should have health coverage throughout the year. And today we have issued out over 220 health insurance cards already completed. So from tomorrow, they will be free to attend any hospital of their choice that are registered under Anambra State Insurance Scheme, so that they will be able to access health as and when due.
Every year, we have to add one thing or the other. Like last year, the previous years, we used to add scholarship. This year, there's scholarship again to 15 people. Now, we added health insurance for 200 families in Ogidi and 200 families in Onitsha. It's a very big plus to Lilyford Foundation.
Distribution of food items and other materials began as the elated beneficiaries praise Mrs. Ujifejika, whom they say has been a blessing to communities in Anambra State.
This Uju is our husband because the Uju is from, the mother is from Abatete. The God will bless her more and more. Give her strength and more health in the name of Jesus.
God will continue to help her so that she is prosper every time. Successful life and everything she wants, God will provide it for her. And she will continue to be looking after us. So we thank her very much. God will bless her.
I pray that most of Ogidi people that well-to-do people emulate her, they will learn from her. Because I admit that we have up to 2 or 3 that are doing like this. I can say that Ogidi will be better. She will be progressing day by day, no more going back. And God will use long life to fight, to replenish her.
From Ogidi, the event moves to Onitsha in Anambra State, and the venue is the palace of the Obi of Onitsha, where hundreds have already gathered to receive treatment and palliatives.
We are well treated anyway, I can tell you that. I can attest to it. Because all the complaints I gave, you can look at my hand and see, they gave me some drugs for it. My prayer is that God will strengthen them more. God will bless them. God will reward them abundantly. Right? Yes, God will see them through. All their heart desire must be accomplished in Jesus' name.
Mr. Emmanuel Ifejika, the husband of the founder, Mrs. Uju Ifejika, decries the level of poverty in the country, promising that the foundation will continue to help ameliorate the sufferings of the people.
It's a thing of joy. You know, if God has blessed you so much, you have to give back to the society where you come from. You know, it's sad for me to look at most people when I pass them, you know, I mean, for one thing or the other, little thing that will sustain them and they don't have it. You know, if you chip in and help them, I think every other person should emulate from Lilyford Foundation.
The Nigerian coordinator of Lilyford Foundation speaks extensively about the foundation's operational premise, its impact and vision.
Lilyford Foundation, we learn, we become better, we refine ourselves as years come by. This year marks the 4th edition of our outreach and engagement with civil society, with the vulnerable, the poor, the orphans, the widows, the elderly, and retirees in the society. These are what we may call the vulnerable groups. And in every area, we are becoming better and better. The founder and chairman of our board, Barrister Mrs. Uju Ifejika, is a woman that has multiple competencies in different areas, different professional areas of ability, efficiency, and effectiveness in delivering services to humanity.
It gives us an experience, a first-hand experience, to know really the different ailments that cut across different ages. For the elderly, we've seen a lot of hypertensives, a lot of diabetics, have a few of them with stroke and all that. So it gives us an idea the areas we need to concentrate on and the challenges. We also understand, due to the poverty rate in Nigeria, that a lot of them, even those with good health-seeking behavior, may not be able to get this help in different facilities, in the government facilities. And that is why we've also gone the extra step in providing insurance, partnering with Anambra State government, and covering and sponsoring At least we started with 400 persons. We hope to improve on that, so that even when they want to walk into the hospitals, the challenges of finance will not be there for them. So Lilyford and her partners have been able to do that, to cover that challenge of finances for them. We also do advocacy. We talk to them, we interact with them, we counsel them, hoping that they improve on their health-seeking behaviors. And then we also come with a lot of medications for them.
For the Chief of Staff to the Obi of Onitsha, the program is a humanitarian effort that is already yielding positive results for the people.
I will say the going has been good, because if it has not been good, it won't be for the fourth time. So it's the first, the second, the third, and now the fourth. It means it was moving from strength to strength and from glory to glory. And I will say, to God be the glory. I give our personal appreciation and gratitude to Chief Mrs. Uju Ifejika, the Chief Executive of Lilyford Foundation, who, in the name of her late father and mother, decided to institute this Lilyford as a foundation to reach out to the not too well, those in difficult circumstances, starting with the widows. So this exercise has been, and it's been growing. This one has something more than ever. The first that has element of health insurance for our people. 100 indigenous of Onitsha have been embraced the Anambra State Health Insurance Scheme, anchored by Lilyford Foundation for Ndi Onitsha. And we appreciate her. We hope that with time, and as of now, people have come to realize that her humanitarian efforts are yielding fruits. And we continue to appreciate, in the name of Obi of Onitsha Abogide and the entire Ndiche of Onitsha.
The medical and welfare outreach is wrapped up with a party for kids who are presented with various items.
They gave us today a bag and the toys by Lilyford Foundation.
I feel great. I pray that the people that give us this thing they are going to live long life.
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, my Lord. Thank you, my Redeemer. Thank you, my dear Lord. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, my Lord. Thank you, my Redeemer. Thank you, my dear Lord.
With the 4th edition of the Medical and Welfare Outreach done, the Lilyford Foundation hopes to continue to improve and increase its various interventions in future with more coverage and greater impact on several lives and communities.
And still to come, we speak with the head of a telecommunications company in Nigeria. We're talking about Airtel Africa PLC. Stay with us. Welcome back. You're still watching Kaleidoscope on Channels Television. Now let's tell you about Airtel Networks Limited, which is Airtel Nigeria, a leading mobile telecommunications company in Nigeria that made history on August the 5th, 2001 by becoming the first telecommunications service provider to launch commercial GSM services in Nigeria as Econet Nigeria at that time. It was awarded a digital mobile license for communication service in Nigeria.
Airtel Networks Limited is a leading telecommunications services provider with headquarters in Lagos, the commercial nerve center of Nigeria. The telco ranks amongst the top 3 mobile service providers in terms of subscribers, with a customer base of more than 50 million as of December 2020. Airtel Networks Limited is a subsidiary of Airtel Africa PLC, a pan-African telecommunications company with operations in 14 countries across Africa. Airtel Africa is driven by the vision of providing affordable and innovative mobile services to all, and it is supported in pursuing its vision by its largest shareholder, Bharati Airtel. Airtel Africa has over 110 million customers across its operations. Airtel Networks Limited is intensely interested and committed to supporting laudable causes through its corporate social investment initiatives in Nigeria, leveraging on its award-winning Touching Lives program, Adopt a School initiative, and employee volunteer scheme. It has invested both financial and material resources to assist many communities, as well as uplift underprivileged people across Nigeria.
Now let's hear more from the Group CEO and Managing Director of Airtel Africa PLC, Mr. Segun Ogunsoya, on the company's activities. All right, so you have backed the CEO of the Year award not once, not twice. Congratulations on that one. What have you been doing differently, sir?
Let me start by thanking you for having me. I'm very pleased to be on your show. We do very few things. We do those few things very well. The first one I'm going to talk about is a very uncommon focus we have on customer, communities, and our shareholders. It's very clear. We just have a relentless focus on those three key stakeholders. Beyond that, I have been blessed with a great team and also a very supportive family. And I must confess, I give all the glory to God. God has been on our side all along.
So Airtel says it is positioned as an integral part of society, which must also be socially responsible in all its dealings. So tell me, what is Airtel's concept of corporate social responsibility?
It's a very simple concept that I have, and it's a moral burden that I also bear, that for any company to be a great company, you must be a very good company. And to be a good company, you must be very socially relevant. And what do I mean by being socially relevant? Recognize the various needs of your communities and respond to those needs in as much as you can. It also for anyone and for a company as well. And I generally believe that in a society where you have many vulnerable people, where you have the less fortunate people, those who are blessed, the very rich, they've got a very huge obligation to support the poor. The strong have huge obligation to support the weak. And that's what we do in Airtel. We believe we should use our successes, we should use our wealth to really create a community of people whereby no one is left behind. We're not going to change the old communities, but what we do is touching lives with our presence. And I really believe that anyone who is touched by our business should benefit from that association. That's what I share with all of my colleagues. It's in our DNA. We're not here just for making money. We're here for touching people's lives and creating value that is sustainable for the key stakeholders touched by our business.
So talking about Airtel Touching Lives, which you just mentioned, it's an initiative that uplifts disadvantaged members of the society, your own way of giving back to society and bringing smiles to faces of those in need. Now, is the impact and result achieved so far putting a smile on your own face as an organization? And talk about, the selection process, how all this is done.
You can see the smile on my face already. Anytime I talk about Airtel Touching Lives, I smile. Because it's something I really believe in. It's one of my legacies, and I can assure you my successor is going to build on this legacy. You see, there's a level of satisfaction you derive when you're doing something for somebody who can truly repay you. You're not trading, you're doing something good. And that's how we feel anytime we launch Airtel Touching Lives. Anytime we build a school, anytime we provide drinking water, anytime we pay for somebody's treatment, the feeling, I think we're even more blessed than the ones you're actually giving the support to. I remember when I went to some place, Lagos Ibadan Expressway, a particular family of 4, husband and wife and 2 kids. And fire consumed the entire building, their house. Lost, actually a family of 5, lost 3 of their children. We went into that community, we rebuilt the house for this family. And when I went to commission the house, the joy on this family's face, after so much loss, after losing 3 of their children, I just can't forget that picture, what I saw on their faces. That is what is truly inspiring. When you support those people who really don't have anything to give to you, and when you see how you touch their lives, how you change their circumstances, it gives huge joy and satisfaction to me personally and to my colleagues in Airtel.
So in 2016, Airtel Nigeria was awarded the best company in reduction of inequality. What is geared towards achieving the SDG Goal 10 by Sarah Awards? Tell us what you did that got you that award.
It's one of the many awards we won, to be honest, and I can't recall what we've done specifically, but I can actually tell you what we do every day. We don't do this for the awards, by the way. It's just part of who we are. Like I said, it's in our DNA. So whether we win an award, we don't win an award, the award we won is what we get from our various communities. So back to what we do. Our support for the communities is anchored on 3 pillars. The first pillar is touching lives. So that's the big pillar. The second pillar is our employee volunteering scheme, whereby myself inclusive and my colleagues, we donated our time, money, no compulsion, to any cause that we deem appropriate. The third one is what I call Adopt a School program. We go to a school, a public school, in a deprived community, and we do a complete turnover of the school. We don't do this as a one-off thing. It's a continuing thing. We adopt the school. When you adopt a child, you adopt a child forever. So when they adopt a school, the school becomes ours forever. So we keep going back to the school. We keep equipping the teachers with skills. We keep renovating the schools, uniforms, everything to make a school look like a school. That's what we do. Not one-off, forever. That's what we are.
In 2011, you began that program called Adopt a School. You also initiated a partnership with the Ministry of Education to build and maintain schools where underprivileged children across the country will be provided free education, free books. How is that partnership and the program going as we speak?
The program, once again, is not something we do and we move on. We continue to support the school. So my colleagues who live in that community, they keep going back to that particular school to offer more support, whether in terms of buying uniforms, in terms of providing sanitary facilities for ladies in the school, whatever support they need, that's what we keep on doing. So it's something we keep doing. And I am so blessed to have the opportunity to support schools in various communities in Nigeria.
So something you said caught my attention. Airtel has a platform that offers staff an opportunity to directly participate in CSR programs. We don't see this happen in so many organizations. Walk us through how this actually works and how many lives you've been able to touch with this initiative.
You know, it's something we do on a monthly basis. Once again, it's not compulsory. We don't mandate any amount. You just tell us how much money you want to put in the wallet, and that is checked off your monthly salary. And collectively, we decide what to do with the money. We've paid for treatment in India. We've paid for treatment in Lagos, in Ibadan, in Maiduguri. But this is entirely within the control of the employees. We choose what to support. No corporate intervention, completely funded by us, and we see the consequences. Most of the time, when we do the intervention and the outcomes are shared with everyone, you can see how excited we all become. I recollect a woman that's got a lump in her neck. We paid for the lump to be removed. I remember some woman with a daughter, I think the daughter was like 6 years old then, heart problems. We paid for the surgery to be done. She brought the kid back to me. I mean, so much joy you see when such things happen, when you're touching people's lives. It goes beyond business, honestly. Nothing can replace that joy when you touch somebody's life, especially somebody who truly cannot repay you with anything.
As part of your social investment programs in Nigeria, also, you partner with the Nigeria Police, which shows that you take matters of security seriously, especially in this climate that we are at the moment. What have you done to improve the aid of activities in that sector and, of course, helping security personnel also?
Normally, what we do is to provide either motor vehicles or connectivity. We donate telephone sets. We provide them a free connectivity so that when there's a problem, you know what numbers to use to reach them. And we make the calls or the connectivity free to the police. We've also refurbished a number of police stations. We take it on a need basis. Security is everybody's game. We must, for you to thrive, for you to prosper, you can't live in a very secure environment. So we believe we owe the police and every security agency and obligation to support them in whatever ways possible beyond connectivity as well.
The organization was the first telecoms operator to launch commercial GSM services right here in Nigeria. That happened on August 5, 2001. I think I still remember. And I'm sure you've been promoting the culture of giving back since then. How do you intend to touch more lives as your business continues to exist?
As I speak now, we've selected a number of schools we're going to support this financial year. And very soon we're going to move into those schools. We're also going back to the schools we've supported in the past to give them some uplifting. We couldn't move around last year because of restrictions around COVID. But more or less, I mean, we're blessed that those restrictions have been lifted in some parts of the country. So we're going to go back to those communities and see what we need to do to uplift those schools. But we're also having a number of new schools. We will go in and completely renovate this financial year. Although we listed 2 exchanges, London and Lagos, we're still in our core a very entrepreneurial business. We get stuff done. It separates us from so many other businesses. We talk about big ideas, but we have entrepreneurship in our DNA. We focus on creating value for our customers, for our communities, and for our shareholders. Everybody talks about those things, by the way, but the difference between us and what they talk is what we do. We walk the talk, and we see the gains almost immediately. I mean, you recollect where we were about 10, 11 years ago, multiple name changes. We've gone beyond those multiple name changes now.
So a lot of people won't forgive me if I conclude this interview without talking about your television commercials, which have actually won Airtel Nigeria several awards. How do you even sustain creating these very interesting and hilarious commercials?
You know, we're a country of stories, very rich in culture. The culture in the South, different from the culture in the North, in the West. We tap into those stories, into those rich heritage, and create stories that Nigerians can identify with. I mean, it's just who we are. And I'm so glad that Nigerians love those commercials. They love the stories we tell. We're going to continue to tell those stories and create an opportunity for many more people to bond with the greatest telco brand in Nigeria.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. And that's where we draw the curtains on today's edition of Kaleidoscope. Thank you so much for watching as we encourage organizations to continue to do more to add value to society. I'll see you soon. I'm Anne Nwawadu. Stay safe.